Good afternoon. I'll invite everyone in the back to grab your cookie and have a seat.
Mandatory?
Perhaps not everyone. All right, well, with that, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And thank you all for coming. And we have the little slips of first Slido here. You would just please kindly go there and register that you are here. We don't have a major vote tonight, so it's all good. We like to make sure we know who's here and how many. So everybody get their cookie? Everybody sitting down? Working on it? Awesome. Okay. I would like to move forward and ask for a motion to approve the agenda for this meeting. A second? Okay. That has been approved. Thank you. How about the minutes of the March meeting?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Usual suspect, Mr. Secretary. Thank you very kindly. All right. I know I see some new faces, so please raise your hand if you are here for the first time. All right. Which neighborhood? Warm Stand. Thank you.
Sunrise Park.
Sunrise Park.
Oasis Del Sol.
Oasis Del Sol. I heard there's good parking there. Yes, ma'am. Warm Stand. Oh, turnout tonight from Warm Stand. Very good. I know the chair is here. Back there. There you are. All right.
Someone else is back.
Oh, I'm sorry. All Las Palmas. Another Warm Stand. All right. Welcome. Please come back. We have 50 chairs tonight. That's interesting. That's not even in the season. So tell all your friends we have great meetings. All right. Are there any hot topic issues that we don't have on the agenda today, tomorrow, next day that we need to know about? Anything, burning topics in neighborhoods that the city was up here. Yes, Carlene?
Over in Rimrock, the new Canyon View homes, we're having issues with the homeless already.
Okay.
And I know PD has been patrolling in the morning, but if you see anybody outside with their sign saying, I'm homeless, please call the non-emergency number so they can escort them off the property.
Okay. Any other topics? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say a brief thank you to Slim Peg for inviting my group to the active transportation meeting yesterday. And we have Baristo and Warm Sands neighborhood organization combining our efforts on a Ramon traffic safety and traffic calming committee. And making some headway. We even got a little edit in the Palm Springs Post introducing our project. So just want to let you know.
Great, thank you for sharing. Thanks. Any other hot topics? Yes, sir.
I'd like to address, my acknowledgement for City Hall, the senior center here, of course, and the police department, making sure that we're all safe in our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a quick one. I know you want it to be quick. This is especially for those who live in an HOA. One of the things that we're having in our HOA and have for a long time is delivery people and realtors and contractors write gate codes on the call box. Be on the lookout for those. The police department has said if you encounter those, remove them quickly because people know to look for those, and then gives them direct access to your HOA. And ours has had quite a run of that lately. So just be on the lookout. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, well, keep those ideas coming. I appreciate it. Our police, one of the many dynamic people that put on that huge picnic. You all went to the picnic, right? I'm sure you all went that. Well, we had some judging going on. Chief, who I don't see here tonight yet, but we had some judging and we had some great foods. And we're going to hand out some little packets, right?
Before that, let me tell you a bit about the picnic. So this year we had more neighborhood organizations participating than ever before. We had 20 of our 52 neighborhoods were represented at the picnic. Thank you. 18 of those actually had a presence, a booth at the picnic. We had okay. Sorry. It was a lovely day. It was a horrible day.
Yeah.
Early summer. Yes. Okay, well, we had more, we served more lunches this year than ever before. We had more sponsors this year than ever before. We had 4 double platinum sponsors. Those were companies and organizations that donated $1,000 or more. We had more neighborhood, we had more community organizations. There were over 80 booths and 100 exhibits altogether. So it was a very a successful picnic despite the heat.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Desert Water Agency, which provided 480 cans of water during the day, and another 5 gallons in an igloo. So that was very helpful. And we will be looking at either moving the picnic earlier in March or perhaps earlier in the day. So we're aware that the climate is changing and we can't control that. So
Plus a survey.
and, oh, yes. And so we also sent it this year, for the first time, a thank you note to every exhibitor, sponsor, and participant. And we asked for them to give us feedback. We thanked them for their participation and for their support, and we asked for feedback. And we are getting good feedback, some of it constructive, well, all of the constructive activities. And we're looking forward to having our meeting where we debrief on the picnic and figure out how to make it even better next year.
Well done.
I'd especially like to thank all of the volunteers.
Yes.
From this room and all of our COD volunteers, the College of the Desert, 24 students helped carry boxes and set up tents, and were with us all day long. They worked really hard, and we very much appreciate their efforts. So thank you for all who volunteered. Yes?
If you have an approximate idea of how many people attended?
We don't know how many people attended, but we ran out of lunches, and there was 1,200 lunches that we bought this year. We've never bought that many lunches before. So, yeah. So I'm guessing with us, participants and exhibitors and attendees, probably around 1,500. There's no one made count. I have the sign-in sheets, and we have about 600, 700 names of people who signed in. It doesn't mean I can read them all, but thank you for those of you who printed neatly.
Question.
Yes.
I commend you also for your great picnic. And I was sad but relieved to see fewer dogs this year because of the heat. So I think that the owners were very wise not to bring all of their dogs this year.
I agree with you. I think that's probably exactly what happened. At the beginning of the dog contest, we had more awards than we had dogs. We quickly recruited some more dogs.
Dave, I
Yeah.
just want to say thank you. I volunteered that day, and it was just remarkable. Calm under storm, no matter what people brought you that day, you were always very, very accommodating of everything.
Well, thank you. And I am also modeling the one T-shirt that we made for our volunteers. We have extra T-shirts. We are now selling them for $20 in the lobby. Cash or check, please. We're not equipped yet for credit cards. That's coming soon.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Hard work. And Denise. Hello.
Hello.
Denise is the glue for everything in one here. All right, we have some awards to get out here. And did the chief show up yet? Okay, well, I'll do this. We will do it in this order. The honorable mention, drum roll, will go to Deepwell Estates. Are you here? Deepwell Estates. So we'll accept it on their behalf. Award shows. All right. For third place, I know that people here, Melanie Ranch.
Welcome back, Chief.
Hi, honey, how are you?
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Pin that tail on that app.
All right, here's your check.
Yeah.
Dave, poke your head.
Okay.
I come in.
Good job.
Great,
Thank you.
All right, second place, Historic Tennis Club. Are you here? Oh, Deepwell's here.
No, we're not like.
Okay, well, we'll accept for Historic Tennis Club. Cameron, come on up, we've got an award for your honorable mention at the picnic. Welcome. Why don't you drop your things? Nothing like my CD. Thank you.
Oh, wow, okay.
For your booth at the picnic.
It was our, Dogs of Deepwell that won that, right?
Cool photo.
Great.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
See if they come to meetings. All right, did Historic Tennis Club come yet? No. Okay, all right, in first place. Who can guess? Okay. El Rancho Vista Estates.
That t-shirt in it. Awesome, congratulations.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a little update on the dollars. We had a budget of $10,000 to put on the picnic. Almost every single dollar is spent on buying the lunches, and a couple $100 on arts and craft supplies. We get everything else donated from the city, the use of the park, and the emergency vehicles and all of that. So we don't pay for those things. We do have to rent tables and chairs. Anyway, our budget was $10,000. So far, we have collected $14,038. And we have a few outstanding receivables, which will bring us up to a hair under $17,000. A few expenses are still coming in. It'll wind up being closer to $11,000 for the expenses. So we're looking at netting around $6,000 in profit to the organization.
Which is the first in my memory that the picnic has actually raised money. So thank you all, thank you, Dave. Thank you all for participating. Let's do it again next year, right? Sounds like we have no choice. That'll be the 18th annual, right? 18th anniversary. All right, I think we're doing well. At a clip here on time. I believe I see our mayor in the center aisle. So I'd like to welcome Mayor Soto to the stage for her remarks.
All right, hi, everybody. Okay, so wanted to share some updates from last council meeting, upcoming council meeting, just some events. It's April, but it doesn't feel like April. It feels like January, February. Our event calendar feels very full, like it's January, February. So we're just gonna milk it as long as we can before it gets too hot. A couple of the big city priorities that council has been talking about. That you might have also seen on the news. I just wanted to briefly talk about the tourism infrastructure district for the convention center. So just super high level recap. We're working on this major modernization and expansion of our convention center to stay competitive, and our hospitality industry, which are great partners with the city, has come together in. It was part of our stakeholder meeting, and great leadership to Councilmember Jeffrey Bernstein and Rhonda Hart, meeting bi-weekly for the last almost, 9 months, almost a year. No, more than a year, probably 15 months. And the hospitality lodging has a majority vote in terms of agreeing to a 1% assessment. So see sometimes on the Desert Sun, they use the big T word, taxes. It is a 1% assessment, self-assessment. And it was done in this way for a particular reason. One, the convention center brings a lot of tourism and a lot of travelers. We wanted to make sure that we were moderating the impact by our residents themselves. And so that is why it is just our lodging businesses. So that includes our short-term rentals and our hotels, both large and small hotels. Palm Springs is already taxed at 9.5%. We want to be really mindful of that impact of additional taxes or assessments or any additional fees for residents. So it is only a 1% assessment specifically on lodging. They have already had a majority vote with all the lodging businesses across the city. It will be across the whole city. And we'll have 2 public hearings with council to discuss it. So if we have some businesses in the community that are very excited for it, we have some businesses that have some concerns or some questions, we're going to have those dialogues, and there's going to be 2 public hearings for it. So I just kind of wanted to flag that because you'll see it in the news more and some context as to what that's happening. The TID itself is expected to, bring in about $4 million of revenue a year, that will help pay for this expansion and modernization, renovation at the convention center itself. It's expected to cost over $130 million, and as a city, we're gonna like try to find every penny we can, but that's like a lot of pennies. And we're grateful, for our tourism, partners to come together with us to be able to make this work. So more to come, but that's some context on that. Also last week, we had a community airport meeting, and the Desert Sun article was also a little weird, in that there was not a big redo of our dreams and plans for the convention center. There was nothing big taken off and nothing big put on, but really helping people understand what we're working on now, what we're working on most immediately, and what the goals are for the far future. Again, kind of like closer to that 10-year mark. Most immediately right now, we are getting that escalator replaced, and we're gonna do that over the summer. Mayor Pro Tem David Reddy has been a great advocate for that, and really making sure we're having people have a really stellar first experience when they come into the airport. That's happening, and then our baggage claim as well has to be redone to be able to handle the volume that we have. We then have projects that are closer to like 3 to 5 year range, so those are projects that are coming next. And then the projects that are kind of more 10 years out, we will constantly reassess once we get closer to that 10 years if it still makes sense, if the demand still warrants being able to make those investments. We're not committing to every single potential expansion that our airport might have right now. We're gonna kind of work our way through. So I just wanted to flag that. They kind of made it seem as if there's like a massive scaling back. No, we're doing this work in a measured, appropriate way, and that's the fiscal responsible thing to do. So I just wanted to comment that. Our fire station, downtown, I know the, fire chief is here too, so he can kind of share a little bit more of that's happening with the fire department. But we are still kind of doing our final complete due diligence and checking every potential, place that we can put the, new downtown fire station. Our fire station right now is almost 70 years old. Cannot accommodate the needs of all the people that we have downtown. We cannot build the downtown that we cannot keep safe. And so investing in a fire station downtown is absolutely crucial. More to come on that, but I just want to flag we're not going, we're going to explore every option that we can. Another big piece that was discussed last week was the mayoral rotation that we have in the city of Palm Springs. We had a lot of spicy comments, a lot of passion in our city. I mean, that's true in most projects, let's be real. And so I'm not surprised by that for the mayoral rotation itself. That's going to be coming back to every council meeting. Council member Grace Garner, who was actually on the voting rights working group, and Rhonda Hart are going to be our subcommittee members. So be expecting kind of an update from that work. But really, some things to kind of keep in mind there is that we really want to make sure that our residents who have questions, have curiosities, or their neighbors are talking to them about why we have the structure that we do of 5 district council seats and a rotating mayor, have all the information as to what led to this work. And so maybe Denise can confirm if it's already up or when it will be, but we're putting up a landing page on Engage Palm Springs that has all of that history from 2018. So the report from the Voting Rights Working Group, the findings, the settlement agreement with the voter group, to really make sure people understand what the requirements of the California Voting Rights California Voters Rights Act is, what we said as a city we're agreeing to do in our settlement agreement from 2018, and all of the options in between, right? So I think it's important that you all have that while you're kind of discussing it with yourselves, and as a council, we'll be doing that too. So be on the lookout. Is that up to cities? Do we know?
I work with our city clerk on it right now.
Okay, so it'll be up very soon, I would imagine by before next meeting. Okay, boards and commissions applications, we still have 2 more weeks open of our boards and commission applications being open. I think I mentioned this last month or the month before. It is so valuable for us to have residents from different parts of the city, different neighborhoods, different lived experience, on all our different, commissions that we have. I served on the Measure J Commission, I was on it, I got on it actually with, I met Councilmember Bernstein when we got on at the same time in 2018. And it's really helpful to have someone who, you know, I use my parks differently, I think about crosswalks differently. You know, just having people who experience and live in our city in different ways is gonna be really, that's true of, you know, infrastructure spending on Measure J, that's true of Parks and Rec, that's true of planning, that's true of, you know, even just, you know, what organization, or the commission that looks at, or code enforcement and things like that. You might be a neighbor that has specific ideas as to how the Airbnbs in your neighborhood work, and you might be a owner who also has some ideas as to how we can make sure we're regulating and protecting that industry. So I just highly, highly encourage you to think about you or someone you know. Sometimes when there's a really great community opportunity to serve, someone needs to be asked a few times. So if you know someone, I know we have great commissioners in the room right now. We only work for 2 months, and so this is the window to really do it. A few events coming up. It's Ben and Jerry's Scoop Day. I just did ice cream cones from 2 to 2:30. I know. I had to change my shirt because I wore white like a rookie. Oh my gosh. But they're going to be serving ice cream all day, so that was really fun. Till 8 p.m. I got there when the police chief was scooping ice cream and some of the other police officers. It's so much fun.
Where?
At Ben and Jerry's downtown. Yep. And it's fast. It was a line, but it was quick, so it's worth it. We have, okay, I'm going to go a little bit out of order. The vendor fair is tomorrow at the convention center, so any businesses that want to do business with the city, but also all the cities in the valley. We have Artscape happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. If I got that time wrong, please let me know. But there's art installations that are happening all week long. I was at Desert Highlands with Cynthia yesterday on the art installation in the Desert Highlands Park. There's 2 tonight and another one tomorrow morning at Gateway Barristo. Gateway Barristo and Victoria Park. And there's going to be kind of a ceremony at 10 a.m. at kind of acknowledging the work of the Public Arts Commission. That's another great commission you could be on, the Arts Commission, and with our Parks and Rec around why it's important that we have our public art in our public spaces. We have, the DBA Impact Awards are May 4th. I'm just kind of looking out a few weeks. It's May 4th, so that is a great event to support so many small businesses and businesses in our community. There's going to be a ribbon cutting on May 21st. So there's a splash pad in our downtown park next to the water fountain after many years. Thank you to Public Works, thanks to Park and Rec for getting that fixed. When I say it is one of the things I had emailed most about pre-council and now, I'm not exaggerating. So I am very excited to see this open. We live in a very hot place. Water play is very important. So it's working now, and there's going to be a ribbon cutting on May 21st. So we fix the things that break in our city, and the more we can do that, the better it's going to be for all of us. Remind me again when the workplace ribbon cutting for the center? This Saturday, okay. This Saturday, there's a ribbon cutting at the center. It is our first Blue Zone certified workplace. Workers matter a lot in our city. Our employers matter a lot in our city, and we want to have as many employers as possible who have environments where people enjoy working, they want to stay working, they can build their careers, and also stay healthy. So that is happening Saturday at 10 a.m. Okay. And there's several more to come, but really grateful for Blue Zone for kind of helping us think about our public spaces, our workplaces, and all the different ways that we can live and healthy belong. Speaking of Blue Zones, we're going to have a presentation at the next council meeting, so that'll just be kind of a summary as to where we are after a little over a year in. There's a few public hearings happening at our next council meeting. These are hotel incentive agreements. Our hotel incentive program was recently updated And so there's two this week, or two next week, and later in May, there will also be another one. So we have hotels who have made investments in their hotels and are now ready to update their agreements with the city. So it shows our incentive program works. And we have our historic designation for our residents off of Riverside Drive, and our CBDG annual action plan. CBDG is, a state grant. Some of those grants are getting smaller over the years, and so we're going to use every dollar we can, and part of that is presenting how we're going to be using that in our parks and kind of other infrastructure spending. So that's kind of where I'm at. Any questions? So I'm saying, it doesn't feel like late April, late season, but we have a lot going on, and the weather is nice, so enjoy. Thank you.
And now for a man of very few words. Hurricane. Choice.
Afraid I'm gonna hear that.
See, I'm good because Naomi likes to talk to, and she's very informative, so. All right, I'll go quick though, okay? I do want to mention one thing just to add on to the convention center, because part of this project is the downtown convention center district, which I think is going to be one of the most interesting things. Tuckwitz to Alejo, convention center downtown. We have hired some of the best urban planners in the world to come up with ideas. And this is something that is not just about convention goers, it's about the residents, it's about the local businesses, and ideally create like a whole bigger downtown. It's walkable, it's beautiful, like you see in a lot of cities, and something that might be we might be able to replicate in other parts of the city. So that's all part of the convention center that we should keep that in mind. Mayor and I also are chairing the Economic Development Subcommittee. So we just had a kickoff meeting last month with all different sectors. So this is the idea that obviously tourism is our core. We had people there from healthcare, we had large employers, we had arts and culture. It's also about clean energy. We have other businesses in our city that also reflecting not just about how do we grow tourism, which is obviously important, but how do we have better worker experience, how do we help large employers, how do we have quality of life, which is all part of economic development. So that's going to branch off into smaller working groups, but we had a large kickoff meeting that went very well. I also want to mention our council meeting in March, we approved $3 million for another affordable housing, the one by the United Methodist Church, Alejo. So this is now, we had 3 that have opened in the last 3 years, and 4 other ones City Council has put funding on as well. So that's 7. Prior to 2017 or 2018, we hadn't opened any in 14 years. So I think that's pretty good. A lot of this money that we're using comes from vacation rentals that helps go towards affordable housing. City puts in something like 7 to 15% of the funding. The rest comes from state and county. We also, Dream Hotel made a very big deadline in March. They submitted their 80% construction drawings on time, which for anybody who's in building, 80% is a huge investment, and they met their deadline. We're going through it now. Orchid Tree also met their last deadline and submitted their last document. Yeah, we have to go through them to make sure they're good, but Dream Hotel now has, I think, until October to get financing, so they're really moving fast. The big stick works, and I have heard that there is very strong interest in Racket Club. I met with the new broker who's been assigned. I saw him this weekend. He said he had somebody that's going back for a 3rd time. He met with Lang as well. So we're hopeful on that one. I know. If we get all 3 done, then Naomi and I can just retire. That's my crowd. But, there's a lot of roads to go on that. We also had a presentation from Plaza Theater, who, as those of you, I think we mentioned last time, 120 shows in 120 days they did. 66% of the visitors are coming from out of town. They have another 80 shows planned, this year. So I think there'll be about 200 shows a year, which is kind of amazing. This summer, they have a classical series, they're working on things with students, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, really just keep an eye out. They're gonna start tours, I think, on Mother's Day, $15 tours where you can get a drink and go look at all the backstage and get a lot of information. So there's a lot of stuff that will happen with the Boston Theater, that's going well. I also want to mention that we had a Los Library Foundation has raised $2 million to support our library. We did some naming rights we approved, but at this last council meeting, we had Plaza Theater, who was led by a group of individuals who donated money to a city building. The library, with a lot of organizations and individuals who donated to another city building. And then we had the TID from the hotel industry, which is doing self-assessment to support another city building. So it's kind of a great community that people and businesses come together to support the city. I know we talked about the art in the parks. I just want to mention that we're having individual ones as well. We did, I think, 2 of them. 6 o'clock tonight is Gateway. We're going to have a little reception for the neighborhood. I got free ice cream for everybody who comes. And then tomorrow morning, 8:15, we'll do Victoria Park. I think the fire department may be there, and we'll have donuts and other things, and the artists there as well. On the 25th, I think we have the Arbor Day Festival in Roof Party Park, so there'll be tree planting there. On April 25th and 26th is the Big Gay Barbecue on Arena, which is free. It's, and that's more buy food, but it's really a lot of fun. And I mention this because these festival weekends are really difficult for our local businesses. They're really great for the hotels and the overall economy, but the restaurants and retail and bars are all doing a little bit slow business because everybody's down valley having fun. So get on out if you can, support the local businesses. 2 quick things. We are still working on XOXO Palm Springs, which will be a citywide arts and culture celebration from June 11th to the 22nd, and will include all different arts and cultural organizations in the city. We're looking at a U-Haul art show, the Plaza Theater's doing things, the Art Museum, Modernism Week, Pride, Air Museum, local galleries, Film Festival, Cultural Center. So it's still information that should come out soon. And then lastly, we're still moving forward with our tech initiative, which is a big part of our economic development plan. We have a networking event, another of our networking events at the Agua Caliente on April 28th. And we'll have one of the executive directors from CSUSB talking about entrepreneurship. And we are planning, last year we did an AI Creativity Summit Expo. This year we've changed it to PS Next, which will be a 2-day summit in June 22nd and 23rd. Some really big and interesting names, art, creativity, and really establishing Palm Springs as a tech hub. So information, save the date, will go out this week, and then more information at the end of the month.
Thank you for speaking. Thank you.
Any questions?
I just want to say, if anyone wants to join, it's 5:30 Barista today, followed by Gateway at 6 o'clock.
Okay. 5:30 at Barista Park, Art Park today, and then Gateway at 6. So.
A quick question, is there any update on the joint powers agreement with the state for the Coast Alliance? Anything going on with?
The trailer parks you're talking about?
Yes.
Not that I know of, Scott can answer that one. but
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
On the June 11th to 22nd, tell me what that's called again.
XOXO Palm Springs, a citywide arts and culture celebration. And basically, XOXO Palm Springs
Thank you.
is being put on by the arts and culture community themselves, and supported by our tourism and city, but this is a pilot for what could be an annual arts and culture festival event. What's that? 11th to 22nd.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
City Manager. Your summer suits today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep my head above water. Thank you, Mr. President, I appreciate it. One of the things I wanted to mention is I meet with all the new employees that we hire at the City of Palm Springs. We have 4 or 5 every month or so, and I make a point of going to
meet with all of them, welcome to the city, and let them know that, sometimes they have other choices. We're glad they selected us. So I walked in, I had 5 new employees that I met with. 3 of them were brand new firefighters, and 1 of them was a woman. Hey. We have not had a woman, female firefighter in our city, and I'd have to 10 years. 10 years, so it was really nice to see, and we're making progress. Congrats to our chief and our entire fire recruitment team for, really trying to think about that and pay attention to it. So I just wanted to mention that. Real quickly, I know we talked about all the great library work that's going on, the fundraising that they've done. Just to give you a few little stats that I asked our engineering team to give me. I'm sure you're trying to figure out what's going on behind those brown fences at the library. But just to let you know, the project's, it's still on track. It's currently on budget. Construction is progressing just as planned. We're still in the early construction phases of what's going on there. We are about 18% complete with the work that's been completed and the dollars we've spent so far. So that gives you an idea. As you know, work on the library started September of 2025, and we're still on schedule to open the library in the first quarter of next year. So full speed ahead, and we're getting very excited about opening our brand new library. They're completed all major demo and abatement work in the library. Completed all the structural underground concrete work. It's all gutted in there, but it's SCE power is on. They're doing wall framing. They're just doing all that work. So I just thought I'd give you a little idea about how that's coming along. We're excited about it. A lot to think about.
Space next to it.
The space next to it.
South of the building.
Some of that is new parking and with access onto Sunrise right there. So it's all kind of part of it. They're also expanding some of the patio space on the south side, I'm quite certain, I think. Mark talking, and do not report that. Just a couple other very brief things with our fire department. We are still looking at a number of different sites, and we're related to Fire Station 1. We want to get Fire Station 1 under construction. So you've read some of the stuff in the paper about the Town and Country and some other sites. So we're still having conversations about that, and I hope that we'll have some good stuff to report. SCE has a brand new representative. Her name's Maddie Bowe. And I bring that up because SCE is doing a resiliency workshop on April 28th. It's a Zoom workshop. What I might do is have Denise get that link to 1PS. So for people that want to log in and see that, they could do that. College of the Desert, the construction campus is still full speed ahead. You're watching it. They're going to be doing some new summer hours. You can imagine working in the summer here in construction is not for the faint of heart. So we allow them in the summertime to start what they call quiet work at 5 a.m., which is just kind of getting set up and things like that, so they can get started on some more normal construction work at 7 a.m. So we allow them to do that from basically May until September to keep the project on schedule. If you're concerned about noise, I live right across the street from there, so I'm in the same boat with everybody. We do have a brand new convention center manager. Her name is Karen Totaro, and she's working for the Oakview Group. She's just started about a month ago. She's got a lot of experience working at the San Diego Convention Center, up in Detroit and parts elsewhere, so we're very excited to have her on board. The mayor wanted me to make a mention, along with all the other activity, and you've all seen all the folks from out of town that are driving around during Coachella and hardly, it seems like they know what they're doing half the time. But, you know, it's not just supporting our small businesses, but it's also just, you know, let's pay attention to pedestrians and, you know, what's going on, because we do have our share of vehicular pedestrian accidents, and we kind of, you know, need to pay attention to that and thinking about it. The police department has some brand new initiatives in place with that, and maybe they'll talk about those for a little bit. So that's all I have. Thank you.
And that's an update on the policy with the state joint powers agreement for mobile home parks that are under state control.
Oh,
Any updates?
I don't know if everybody heard that. The question is, there been any update from the state on their policies with mobile home parks? I think that has to
Joint
do
powers
with
agreement.
joint power agreements and who inspects them and who's in charge of them. I haven't heard anything more recently from the state about that. I know there's some discussions, people want the city to be involved in doing that, and then we're taking on a whole bunch of liability that probably doesn't make sense for the city. But as soon as, if I hear more about that, I'll get that to you, Paul, but I haven't heard anything.
Because Rancho Mirage has been doing it for over 30
Yeah.
years. They've got their agreement.
We just had a major fire in that trailer park, just not that long ago.
That's a good reason to have it.
Well, yeah.
The question right there, there's Joe.
Yeah,
There's a temporary library right now.
right down on, East Palm Canyon down, yeah.
Is there any plan of making, like, ancillary satellite libraries in different areas in the city, rather than just a central library?
That's the problem. We have that library down there. It's doing so well. And so I've heard a lot of, once we open the main library, can we also keep this one open also? So, I know what Jeannie is trying to do, Jeannie Kayes, our library director, is trying to think about ways to take mobile libraries and other things out to the community, some of our recreation and community centers, to do that, because people have sort of figured that out. So we're trying to think about that a little bit. How do we get library services up to the north part of town? Really important. We're doing some mobile, she's doing some mobile outreach at the James O. Jesse Community Center and some other places. So, yeah, I know it's on our mind, and I think the fact that we've done this, we've had to do this temporary outreach center, has made us sort of think about the exact question that you're asking. So, I think more to come. Thank you, everyone.
Now, the police department report. Admiral Villegas.
How you doing? No, still Lieutenant. I'm back. I'm filling in today. How's everybody doing? Hopefully good. You guys miss me? A few things to report on. Definitely enjoying my new assignment, and especially we have some complaints down on Twin Palms, which we do every single year. Please call us. Call our non-emergency line so we can dispatch officers to go site them or have them moved. We have points of contact, just some of these bus drivers don't obviously follow the rules the way they're supposed to. Update on our Operation Desert Zero. We are now in the first full month. So I'm providing you some stats for perspective. Right now we have a total of 805 citations we've issued.
All right.
That's a lot. That's a lot of citations. Let's see. Site warnings, we don't just issue citations, we've issued 298 site warnings, so that's pretty good too. Total DUI arrests, and someone take a guess how many DUIs we've had? Pretty close, 89 DUI arrests since we started this, 89 arrests. So, yeah, definitely making an impact on, like when we had our town hall, when we talked to you guys about Operation Desert Zero, the three primary collision factors was speed, the fail to yield on the left-hand turn, and DUI arrest. So we're definitely making an impact on that, especially right now during the busy season with a lot of the tourism and these events that are going on. Good to report on some of our traffic collisions. For the last month, we've only had 25 traffic injury collisions. Non-injury, we've had 48. Those happen quite frequently. If you guys drive around, you guys see that a lot. Hit and run collisions, we've had a total of 27. 3 of them were injury related. So, that's a lot. Again, it's a busy time right now. We have a lot of people in our city. This weekend, we probably had close to 100,000 people. I mean, our hotels are full. A lot of people going back and forth from Coachella. We do have the pool parties going on at the surf club also. We have it staffed with officers. So I just wanted to report that's where we're at with Operation Desert Zero. We're out there just trying to work our butts off, and we're doing a great job. I'm gonna pat myself in the back to that. The other thing I did want to mention today is, it's ice cream cone day. So we have an event at Ben and Jerry's, if you guys saw that, we're having a fundraiser for our search and rescue folks. So ice cream, 1 scoop of ice cream is free. It's donated by Ben and Jerry's. And, the mayor was there serving, I was there serving earlier today. You're gonna have, either officers or our search and rescue personnel serving you ice cream. So please, after here, go support it. They're there till 8 o'clock tonight. If you can't donate $2, whatever, here and there, it goes a long way. This is one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. With that, I'll take any questions, if you guys have any questions.
They are a volunteer organization too, aren't they?
Correct, they're volunteers.
So it's important to support them.
100 things, for sure, absolutely, Paul. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I understood the citations, but then you said something else,
Site warnings.
Yeah, what is that?
We have, it looks like a ticket, and it's, when someone gets pulled over, we log it that they were warned for whatever violation. So if they get stopped again, it's noted that they were already issued a warning, so next time will be a citation. All right, folks, nice seeing everybody. Thank you.
Moving along, now we want you.
Hey, thank you. I gave him the hand signal. Let's keep it going. So, Mayor, City Manager, they touched on it, the open house, second open house we have for Fire Station 1, see some faces over there. But George, part of the Public Safety Commission, West Hollywood was at our first one. So the news got out, you know, there was a lot of concern about the original site we were looking at. But there was a lot of people that are in favor of the fire station too. They see it needs to be rebuilt. And I remember George, he goes, hey, I was looking at a station much newer in West Hollywood that really needed to be rebuilt, and they made it happen. So I know it's possible for us too, and we're working hard on it. So George, thank you for being there. Everyone that was there, thank you for being there. We heard your comments. A question was asked, what's your process so you're taking our information? We're listening, right? There's concerns about the station being in the parking lots, taking up that space. We're looking at other sites, but we've got to get the project done. So thank you everyone for being there, I really appreciate it. Then moving on, we have the Police and Fire Award Luncheon at the end of March, and what a nice turnout. And I don't know if you guys heard my shout out, but part of what I love serving Palm Springs is the vibrant communities, right? The neighborhood communities, the Blades, the individual groups, the fun parties that we get to go to, have a couple beers over at Chris's house. So thank you guys for that. This group means a lot to us, and I really appreciate that. But part of that was me talking about all the accomplishments and things moving forward. So City Manager talked about it. We have 3 new firefighters that are going to graduate the academy next week, which is fantastic. But also, I promoted a battalion chief, a fire captain to take his position. And something that I'm really proud of, the people that drive the fire engines are called the engineers. I have had a heck of a time filling that position. This is my 3rd test that I put on. The first time I had 4 openings, 2 people passed the test. A year later, I had another test, I had 5 openings, 1 person passed the test. And I told our team we're going in the wrong direction, guys. So this last test, my 3rd one we put on, I mean, we really talked to them that we're not meeting the mission. I need you guys to step up. I had 6 openings, 6 people passed the test. I'm really excited about that. If you think about the context of that, that's a quarter, 25% of that entire rank got promoted at one time. which is incredible. This department hasn't seen that number. So we're doing great things in the fire department. We're making sure we're staffed. We're making sure we're listening to the community. And finally, on Cinco de Mayo, while everyone's enjoying that day, we'll be starting our brush clearance. So, Little Tuscany, I see you back there. I love telling the story. I went to a Little Tuscany meeting a couple weekends ago, and I go, you know, one of my first 1PS meetings, they go, hey, Chief, there's a bunch of brush on my house. What are you going to do about it? It's a fire hazard. So we did something about it, right? Now it's an annual thing that we do. And we'll start a media kickoff, but I'm excited to get that work done. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate all the support here. Any questions?
Congratulations on hiring a female firefighter, because Station 1 doesn't have a bathroom for her. So where is her station?
Well, we are moving things around at our other stations. Station 1 is really, it's really impossible. If you took the tour of Station 1, like I said, the good thing is you can walk into a room and do your laundry, shave, use the shower, use the bathroom, all in one room. Bad news is there's no privacy doing any of that. So Station 1 is a no-go. That needs to be rebuilt. But at our other stations, we're moving stuff out of the gym room. We're making a bedroom out of that. The other station, we're using the captain's office. We're going to make a bedroom out of that. We're making do with what we need to do. You know, we're behind, and I'll be honest about that. We're behind it with that. But we're taking steps in the short term, but we've got long-term plans. And that's why I really need your support to get these stations rebuilt, remodeled, and keep things moving. You know, we want a modern workforce, and that's what this room looks like, right? A diverse, inclusive workforce. So with your support, we're going to get that done. What else? Any other questions? All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, sustainability. Thomas?
Hi, everyone. How are you? Good to see you. My name is Thomas Crowley, and this is my colleague, X. Wahlberg. Just a few announcements. I wanted to share with you, we are very, very, very excited. You probably saw in the local news that we have a new director starting for the Department of Sustainability. Her name is Jasmine Fields. She's starting with us on Monday, the 20th, so in just a few short days. She's joining us from a city about the same size as ours, and municipalities. We're really, really ready to have her join the team after we've had this transitional time. So making a plug for her, once you'll see her and meet her, it's going to be great stuff. Upcoming, others have mentioned, we have our Earth and Arbor Day celebration on April 25th. We do have a few of these flyers out front. They are double-sided printed to be sustainable, as it were. And we also are offering we mentioned this at previous meetings, we've had to reschedule the date for the Edom Hill Transfer Center tour. So it will now be on Saturday, May 7th. There's a QR code on here that you can sign up. These will be on the table as well. And you can express your interest in the tour, and then we'll confirm attendance based on seats and vans for carpooling, sustainability, and all. So, yes, and I'll pass it over to X.
Hi, folks. This is my third time being here, but only my second time speaking. Second time I went here, Thomas got too excited, but it's okay. So, I know that we have new faces in the room, and like I said, I've only spoken here. This is the second time. So I'm going to introduce myself again. Like Thomas said, I go by X, like Professor X, X-Men, you know, I'm just going to keep making those references. People like remixing my government name because it's Sabina, and people call me Sabrina, and they call me Xvania. Like, they just remix it, so that's why I go by X. But to say a bit more about myself and my position at the city, I am a Civic Spark Iron Fellow, which is a workforce development program that helps young professionals gain experience in the public and nonprofit sectors. And so this fellowship has allowed me to work full time for the city with Thomas, with Benito, in the sustainability department. And not only has it allowed me to use the skills that I studied for and worked for, but it's empowered me, to gain new and practical skills to serve you all the best I can. So I'm very, very grateful to be here with you all because of the Civic Spark Iron Fellowship. Part of that fellowship is invoking the spirit of community service. And so my spiel here is that I and my co-fellow, I actually have a co-fellow, he's not able to be here tonight, Matthew, we are the volunteer coordinators for this upcoming next Saturday's Arbor and Earth Day Festival. And so I just wanted to ask you all to please spread the word. We have we have flyers, Spanish and English. And yes, please spread the word about volunteers. We want to make this event the best possible for our neighbors and yourselves. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Liz, last but not least. Welcome back.
Hi, everyone. I have a little more to touch on the field trip, but before that, I'll remind everyone this week is cleanup week. Don't forget to schedule both the items out at the curb. You still need to call us for that. Just remember to set them out. We'll pick them up by the end of the week. Just keep in mind we pick up items separately, so sometimes your washer might get picked up, but not your computer or whatever. So just keep that in mind. And then the other thing was, with Arbor Day on April 25th at Ruth Hardy Park, we will also be doing a mulch giveaway. So please bring your buckets, your shovels, your trucks if you have them. Just no bags, please. It's going to be available on Ruth Hardy Park on April 25th, and take as much as you like. Please, please. We want to make sure we use it. So even if you don't do landscaping, if you want to, plant some strawberries or whatever you want to do, just come get a little bucket. That's the stuff that we've recycled, and we get to use it back in our community. And lastly, yes, our field trip. So yes, I'm sorry, like Thomas mentioned, there was a change on the date. We're very sorry. As much as we wanted to make it Earth Day, it was nearly impossible. So it is May 2nd. It will be Saturday morning. It's going to be at 8 a.m., so early, because the heat's starting. We don't want to be there when it's hot and not smelling pretty. Yeah, we're just trying to get out of there. So we will be meeting at 7, I believe, if not earlier. Yes, Thomas mentioned the events will be available. We'll all go together there. The tour is going to be about an hour, so it's the short one. For our fall tour, we are gonna, we have planned and booked the MRF station, which is a little further. That's a little nicer in a sense of we get to see the recycling and the process of it. So stay tuned for that one. It's going to be early November. We'll make sure to have dates and everything confirmed, and I'll have that available for you guys soon. But for this one, it is a small tour. And it's for the compost facility, which they don't do much recycling here, but this is where we take our recycling to get it to the transfer station. Any questions on that? Sorry, I know it's
Will you be doing videos for those who can't attend?
I can. I did ask. They're getting back to me on that. They asked that we use what the county of Riverside has so far, but I'm hoping to see if we can do that. So, yes. Yes.
May 2nd is the recycling or the mulch tour?
The mulch, the compost facility tour. Yes. It's May 2nd, 8 a.m. Any other questions? 8 a.m. So meetup will be 7 a.m., but yes, we'll be at the facility by 8 a.m. Sorry. Yes.
You're talking about the Edom Hill tour, correct?
Yes, Edom Hill, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you with the fall. That's another one. I'll bring more information about that later. Any other questions for me? No, thank you, everyone.
Okay. Oh, Cameron? Tamara? Okay. Update on Desert Wildlife Center, is that correct? Yeah, that's you.
There's three of us.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Denise, so much for getting us on the schedule. We really appreciate it. It was sort of, just a couple of weeks ago that we reached out because we really need your help at the Desert Wildlife Center. And I'll tell you why. So first of all, I'm Tamara Hudson. I am a Palm Springs resident. I live in Deepwa, and with me representing the Desert Wildlife Center is Linda Talley.
Hi, I am, one of the board members, and actually board chair of the Greater Palm Springs Animal Allies, and have been working with the Desert Wildlife Center since its inception.
And before I introduce myself, I would say, you're probably the driving force of the Desert Wildlife Center along with Tamara. So we're very grateful for that. I'm Paul Ortega. I am on the board of the Greater Palm Springs Animal Allies, been for about 2.5 years, and also involved in the initial, development, creation of the Desert Wildlife Center. So we're very happy to be here today. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a creation because it was just a little speck of an idea that we had. How many people know about the Coachella Valley Wild Bird Center out in India? So that was really the only place to take any injured wildlife for many, many years. It was there for 30 years. It closed down a couple of summers ago. And that was really devastating because now we had 0 licensed wildlife rehab facilities in all of the Coachella Valley and even beyond, nothing really in this region. So Greater Palm Springs Allies, AKA Friends of Palm Springs Animal Shelter, yes, we do run the shelter right here in our city of Palm Springs. We decided to branch out, spread our wings, if you will, and open a wildlife center. It was a dream, a nugget, and now it is open. We're ahead of schedule. We opened in July of last year, 2025. And we thought, for a while, we'll just take in birds. That'll be all that we do. But we have been like pedal to the metal, and we're taking in birds, and we're taking in mammals, and we're also taking in reptiles. We're taking in a lot, and that's the point of this presentation. Yeah, that's the whole point, and we have a lot to cover. We'll go fast. But the good thing is, everything we're going to talk about is on this piece of paper. Recycled paper for Sustainability Commission, printed 2 sides. Woo-hoo! Okay, so, yes, ready. So, here's what we do. Here's who we are. We're out in Indio, right off the 10, and it's all Center Parkway. Already talked about that. Helpline, we opened our helpline last year in January of 2025. Linda has answered probably 75% of the helpline calls. It is nonstop, and it's staffed just by volunteers. We always need more for that helpline. Anybody here call the helpline? No? Okay. We encourage you to, if you have any questions about wildlife injured or orphaned. And our current residents are little owlets, we have an opossum, we have doves, we have pigeons, we have ducklings, peas, squirrels, cottontails, wrens, and hummingbirds. Next slide, please. Okay, Linda is going to tell us who these patients are.
Laura, what's the helpline number?
It's coming, and I have it on the flyer here. Come in, and on Monday, we took 50 calls on the helpline. So lots of people, we have lots of people with ducklings in their pools. We have birds hitting windows. So all of these things we can help you with. We have a little kangaroo rat here that someone brought in, and over there we have a nest of seedies, little baby birds that somebody brought in from, I think, La Quinta. Next slide. We have a roadrunner here with had a problem with his foot, and we were able to create a little boot for it to correct it. And we have, I think, about 9 outlets out in our center right now, great horned owls they fall out of the trees. They get hot and sometimes they will jump out of trees, and a lot of times we try to get them back up there and re-nest them and reunite them with their parents, but sometimes they're way up there, so we can't do that.
And sometimes they're knocked out of their nest by humans.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yes,
Okay.
the tree trimming, okay. Next one. Here's some more, baby owlets, and this is an opossum that fell in a swimming pool here in, Palm Springs. And the person brought it out to us, and it's doing great. We're gonna be able to re-release it. All of these animals, we re-release back and out into the wild. They get treated, they heal, and we take them back out, and they are re-released, so.
And these are not actors. They're not pretending to be patients. These are real patients.
Not AI.
Yeah, not AI. We have to use AI. Thank you. Five. So, many hazards are wildlife based. Some are just natural hazards. For example, road runners are gonna go after lizards. They're gonna go after some baby birds. That is nature. We don't interrupt that. Same with coyotes going after cottontail bunnies. We don't interrupt. That is nature. But the majority of the injured wildlife that we're seeing is because of us. It's because of us, human beings. And there's so much that we can do to prevent it. We see rodenticides and pesticides, poisons that are used that not only kill the rodents, but they go on and kill anybody who eats those rodents, which are raptors and coyotes. Owls, for example, that's what they eat. They eat little mice and rats. Injury from window strikes. We love our windows. We love our big glass doors here in this area, and that's just a death sentence often for birds who don't understand that they can't just fly through there. So we have remedies for that. Habitat loss, of course, as we develop and we lose all those wildlife corridors, that's a really big issue. Vehicle strikes, of course, we were talking earlier about all the speeders. Sometimes in our animal control, bless their hearts, they're out there picking up injured and dead, not only companion animals, but also wildlife. So slow down and watch where you're going. This is a super easy one to fix. It's all of the intervention from humans, baby napping, tree and hedge trimming, feeding wildlife, and it just says feeding, but feeding wildlife. We should never feed wildlife. It just gets them accustomed to humans and approaching humans, and it's not always safe to do that. Our domestic, we love dogs and cats, right? We are the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. But our off-leash dogs and our free-roaming cats, they are very destructive with wildlife. I love my dogs, I love my cats. My cats have a catio. That's the way to go. Fear and even hatred of certain species like coyotes, like snakes, like rodents. People say rats, and kind of make a face. So there's a lot of that going on. And then some folks, nobody in this room, but some folks look at wildlife as invaders of our territory, when in fact it's the other way around. Next slide. Am I missing anything?
No,
Really?
that's great.
Okay, so easy things we can do. Every single one of us in this room who have cats and dogs, keep our dogs on leash, cats indoors. Only trim your trees through October through January. Right now, we are in the thick of nesting season. And you see all over town these chainsaws and these electric and even gas-powered trimmers. When that happens, oftentimes we're destroying nests. Now, that's against the law. There's a Migratory Bird Act that says we're not allowed to, at any time, disturb an active nest, which is a nest with eggs or fledglings or nestlings in that nest, but it happens all the time. So talk to your gardeners if you're doing your own work. You be very careful if there's a branch that's blocking a pathway or a safety issue. Just be strategic. Like, let's use scalpels and not machetes to do the trimming that we have to do during nesting season. We can save a lot of animals that way.
Leaf blowers too. Leaf blowers, they destroy all your leaf piles and the insects that are in there that the wildlife eat. So, and they scare the birds, they scare the baby birds, the nests, so watch those.
And that was a good one, thanks, Linda. And then, where are we? Okay, don't baby nap. Oftentimes, people think they're doing the right thing, they take a little baby bunny. Baby bunnies go into shock really quickly, and they're very rarely abandoned by their parents. Most of the time, it's only if it's maybe hit by a car or something very tragic. Otherwise, wildlife doesn't generally abandon. The one exception is probably the opossums, when they carry so many and they don't even realize that they've lost one. So that's a different story if you see an opossum baby by itself. But most of the time, if it's a bird on the ground and it's a fledgling, the parents are nearby. They fledge, they're watching. It's like training wheels, you know, the parents are watching them on their little bike with training wheels right behind, and you may not see them, but they're there. Call us, call Linda and the other volunteers, and we'll help walk you through what to do if you see any of these birds on the ground or seems like abandoned animals. And then, most important, really here, because it happens a lot in Palm Springs and all over the Coachella Valley, stop using pesticide poisons and use red instead. We have a quick slide on red. And it's really Repel, Lucitor. We have all that in this little handout. And next, because I know we only have 10 minutes. All right, so what you can do, you all here, you're with neighborhoods. I'm the chair of my neighborhood organization in Weedwell. I share this information all the time. I put it in our newsletters. I talk about it at meetings. Share this with your own neighborhood. Invite us to come to your board meetings. Invite us to come to your annual meetings. We love to spread the word. We'll speak anywhere. If you're part of a group, an organization, and you'd like to have a special speaker, Micah is our Wildlife Center director. He's an amazing speaker. Some of you might have heard him speak, but he is too busy. He was too busy to come here today. So you have us, which is next best thing.
Tell them we'll post on the email.
Tell them what?
We'll be posting.
I will be posting all this information on beachpalmsprings.com, and I'll send it out in my next newsletter.
Okay, and that is it for us, unless there's a question.
Hi, I was wondering if you could put the word out to people when they see, a mother that's dead, all right, and she's got little ones, that's awesome. To bring the deceased mother with the baby to your facility.
Oh.
And then you can decide what, whether she should stay with them a little longer. I mean, she could have milk.
Yes, yes.
That would only shock them more.
Yes, and what we want people to do is just to call us, so before they do anything, so that we can advise them what to do. So that's, call first before you intervene with any kind of wildlife, any kind of dead animal. We can walk you through exactly what to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your first question?
Tamara, hi. One concern I have is uncovered garbage. Isn't that a problem?
We could go on, we could do an hour of this because you're absolutely right. Thank you so much. Yeah, uncovered garbage, we've been talking to sustainability. We have a little ad hoc committee around things like this for wildlife and dumpsters that are open, our own home residential garbage cans that are open. They all attract wildlife. We've all seen the ravens and the crows, but it's also, we have raccoons here. We don't see them all the time. We have skunks. There's a lot of animals getting into the garbage, so thank you for that. Yeah?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, Conference Disposal, we added those steps in our newsletter. We see them.
We love it.
And we'll also be adding about the dumpsters.
Thank you. That was so cool. I have people calling me saying, Tamara, did you see this was in here? Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
All right, wildlife related, I'd like to welcome our Parks Director and the Parks Foundation to give us a presentation. Thank you, Nick. Team, welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've been back here, but again, I'm Nick Gonzalez. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation here for the City of Palm Springs. So I just wanted to share a few updates of what the department has been up to since I last saw you about a year ago. So I've been here for probably about a year and a half now. And we've been making some major improvements throughout the whole entire Parks and Recreation system. So this is just a snapshot of everything that we manage all throughout the city. So all of our different parks, our trailheads, our community centers, the swim center, and then management of all of our programs, activities, special events, and permitting and all that fun stuff throughout the community. We are guided through support through the Parks and Recreation Commission. I know we have several commissioners here. There's 11 of them that serve to really as an advisory role for the city council, but works along staff on all these different projects and initiatives. And then a lot of people don't know this, but the Parks and Recreation Department also manages the operation of Village Fest. So the Thursday Market Street Fair, that's something that we do, and we have a separate board, separate member board that operates and reviews all the vendor applications for that event. And then with us today are members of our Parks Foundation, which they'll share about just a little bit about this new initiative that we're starting for the community as support for the department. And when I came to you last year, I came with really the focus of this new idea of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. It's a new initiative that we are not just keeping on the shelf. It was approved last year, and we're now into the first year of the implementation of that plan. And we've already accomplished a lot of things as part of that plan. But here are the six kind of major themes and initiatives that are really guiding us, and we're using this as really a roadbook or a guidebook, for that matter, of how we're going to really make a lot of improvements and initiatives through the whole entire park system. And I hope you're seeing that. One big thing that we've accomplished more recently is the acquisition of the Parks Maintenance Division. We've moved that from Public Works, moved that to Parks and Recreation, so there's synergy and consistency in the way that we operate our programs and the overall management of the park system itself. And we've seen some major improvement of the way our parks look, some overall kind of taking care and putting some deferred maintenance and plans in place so that they're looking really beautiful. And right now, although we have a lot of projects going on, but the parks are looking really, really great right now. One big thing too, once I started here, is I really wanted to make an effort on making sure that people knew what we did and who we are and where to find our information. And so we've launched in December this new initiative called PLAY, which stands for Parks, Leisure, and Activities for You. And this is a digital comprehensive recreation guide that has a whole listing of every program, every facility, every class, everything that we have to offer throughout our community on a quarterly basis. So you can scan that QR code there, it'll take you directly to our online publication, but it's really great. It's a one-stop listing of everything that we do. You can find all of the major special events and information located in this brochure as well. And it's just really wonderful that we have now this one kind of listing and guide that'll really guide our staff on planning all of our events and programs. I want to share some couple of park projects and updates for you all. So I know Mayor Soto mentioned this already, but Downtown Park, the splash pad is now operable. And so we're doing a big ribbon cutting celebration to celebrate that on May 21st. And that's in coordination with Water Safety Month. So we'll have specialized activities and events to focus on water safety for our youth and families to be safe around water. And then Artscape in the parks, so those were installed all weekend. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there was a dedication yesterday at Desert Highland. There's 2 dedications today at Baristo and Gateway, and then a dedication tomorrow at Victoria Park. So if you haven't seen these new public art pieces, they're really stunning and just add a lot more vibrancy to our park system. A couple of other updates. Demuth Park, if you live or been by Demuth Park, it looks like it's all under construction right now. That's because it is. And so we're making some major improvements there. The pickleball complex extension project is well underway with scheduled completion in the summer. And so that's taking our 12 courts to 22 courts now. And so we'll be really excited once that project is completed. And then Demuth Park also has some other improvements that are coming online with some parking lot enhancements, improvements to the large and the small dog park, a new restroom building, and ADA improvement access throughout the whole park. The pavilion is almost completed with its renovation, and this includes new ceiling, IT upgrades, acoustic paneling. We took a tour of it last week, and when you walk in, it looks like a brand new facility. So we are really excited once this will be done in May, and really welcome the community back into that space. And then our next playground renovation project will kickstart in a few months at Desert Highland Park, and this is just a rendering of the conceptual design of that. This will be our full themed playground. And so it's really focusing on Black history and Black culture, surrounding with a lot of community input in that area, but then also making sure that we're paying homage to a lot of the different cultural institutions and major events that surround this space. And there's also a tribute to the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway, some windmills, some desert wildlife stuff in there. So it'll be really beautiful once this is done, and it's expected to be done in summer. And some other updates, we're working really quickly on the Palm Springs Swim Center and the renovation for the locker rooms and for the lifeguard process. And so we're still working through the design on that whole project and hoping to kickstart that at the end of this year. And then we're working with Trino on the Talkwitz Creek Trail Master Plan implementation along Riverside Drive. So that'll be great once that project begins and starts moving along. And then here's a ton of other projects that we have in the pipeline. Not all of these are funded, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but something that's in our radar. And so I want to let you know that we're paying really close attention on making improvements to the park system and making sure that our parks are beautiful and safe spaces for all of you, our residents, our visitors, and everybody to enjoy. And so these are just some of the items that we have that are on our radar to make sure that we pay attention to closely in the upcoming years, so that we can make sure that we are keeping up with the deferred maintenance for the department. And then I do want to just share a little thing about Village Fest, since we do operate it. We're undergoing a major initiative on kind of this refresh of the brand of Village Fest. We see that not a lot of locals and residents attend Village Fest because it does happen weekly and it could get stale. But I want to tell you that it's not. And we are constantly getting new vendors that are participating in this market. And we have space for roughly about 200. And right now, we only have about 3 spots left. So we're nearly at capacity, which is really great. And we see tons of people coming to this event. What we are starting to do a lot more of is create more activations as part of Village Fest. So although they are Parks and Recreation staff, but we call it our Parks team, our Parks and Rec team, they go out and they do monthly community engagement events at Village Fest to kind of bring in more locals to come out and participate in crafts and activities and other activations as part of the event as well. And so we're doing this really kind of big overview refresh of Village Fest and what that looks like, really paying more support to our vendors and highlighting vendors. And so you'll see soon a lot more digital engagement through social media, but a lot more advertising around Village Fest. And we're making sure that we're paying not only attention to our visitors, but you all and our locals, and making sure you're coming out to this weekly event. And then just some of the campaigns that are surrounding on Village Fest and what that'll look like. I don't want to get into a total list of all of our upcoming events, but we do have a lot of events, especially this time of year, that we have going on. I do want to point out, I know it's been mentioned already, Arbor Day on April 25th at Ruth Hardy Park. We are planting 24 new trees. And so we're paying a really close attention and working in collaboration with Public Works and with sustainability on increasing our urban shade canopy and planting more trees in our park system. So this is just the first step of making our trees, or our parks, more, including more shade throughout the whole system itself. And then also a big initiative for this year is we're doing a big campaign on Sunrise Park. And so Sunrise Park is celebrating 50 years since its inception. And we're doing a ton of lists of events and monthly events leading up to a big celebration that will be held on December 12th, which will be called Shine On 50 Years of Sunrise. So later on, I will be asking all of you to really participate in that event. I know it's around the holidays, but we're going to make it work. And it's going to be a really wonderful event to celebrate everything the park has had to offer, all of the different assets and amenities that are in the park, but then also what the next 50 years of Sunrise will look like. And I just wanted to share my contact information if you didn't have that already. But then I'll also pass it over to Deanna and Catherine from the Park Foundation to share what their initiatives are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jana Fitzgerald. I'm one of the board members of Palm Springs Parks Foundation. I am also a resident of Tockless River, so a few blocks away, and after this, I will be running to my 3-year-old t-ball game at Duluth. I'm a lawyer by day, and again, I've been involved with the Parks Foundation for a few years now, and I'm very, very excited to be here, first and foremost as a neighbor, but also as a parks advocate, and I'll let my colleague Catherine introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Catherine Hatch, and I will also be running from here to pick up my son at Musical Theater in Rancho Mirage. I grew up in the Palm Springs. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm one of the founding members of the Palm Springs Parks Foundation, and I think it's really important to improve our parks in terms of watershed and recreation, and I'm really excited to be part of this at this time.
Thank you so much. So, as we said, we are really here in the spirit of being good neighbors, and that's really the aim of what a lot of our work was. I want to ask by a show of hands, how many of you identify yourselves as users of the park locally? Okay, so pretty much everyone, and that's about on track with what we've seen and also with the spirit of what we're doing. We believe parks aren't just amenities or things that are nice to have, they're really critical infrastructure. And our group was really founded with that in mind. We initially started off as more of an advocacy organization several years ago of local residents, business owners. Catherine and I are parents. She's been here for a long time. I was actually born and raised here. And, you know, we're raising the next generation of families here and really looking to what we can do as volunteers, as board members, as advocates to support and enrich our local public green spaces. And so we launched our group really with the idea of investing in our community, investing in our public green spaces, and doing what we can to facilitate public-private partnership to support Nick and all the amazing work he's doing and make sure that, you know, our park system is able to thrive for generations to come. So that's kind of a high level what we're doing, and we really want to make sure that everything we're doing supports sort of the character and inclusion and beauty of Palm Springs, and you know, create the parks as a place for everyone, so that everyone can belong. And you know, we've been doing a lot of strategic work and sort of identified a lot of our guiding theories and themes, which I think are probably similar to a lot of what's already been discussed today, but really we view them as places of connection and sort of a bellwether or a barometer for the health and well-being and long-term sustainability of the city, right? What's happening in our public parks? We're all there all the time, and what are we doing to strengthen the community bonds that we have and really care for our outdoor spaces and make sure that we're encouraging and facilitating our community to really using them to their fullest potential, which Nick touched on a lot of the activation, and I'll briefly talk about that in a moment, but really we want to make sure that everything we're doing is designed to be as inclusive and sort of broad-reaching as possible. I mentioned that we were initially the People for Palm Springs Parks, an advocacy group, and we've always been a 501c3, but we are now the foundation. So we are an independent 501c3, and again, our goal is really to provide philanthropic and sort of strategic and partnership support to the city, to Nick, and to the park so that we can ensure the parks can thrive. Through, you know, we view ourselves in sort of the tradition of Friends of the Parks organizations, which of course are longstanding. I myself used to be a volunteer with the Prospect Park Alliance when I lived in New York City. And of course, there are many organizations like this throughout the country. Also locally, we see lots of friends groups. We heard one a few moments ago. But we really see these kind of partnerships and relationships as crucial long-term allies and allyship so that we can ensure the park has the support it needs. These are the three strategic priorities that we as a board have identified as sort of core to a lot of the work that we do. Water, of course, being not just, you know, having water availability to drink, but having water play, having water accessibility, being mindful of, you know, climate resilience and our, you know, location and desert. Related to that is shade and sort of a priority on climate conscious and climate focused design to make sure that our parks are usable year round because of the influx of, you know, people who are here year round who have a need to use the parks 365. And our third priority is activation and recreation to sort of complement what Nick described in terms of programming and making sure that there's, you know, things happening, and it's not just that the parks are beautiful and you know, fun to visit, but also they're welcoming and they're warm places. And there's things to do, there's destinations. Sorry, this is a little small, but we are a board composed of 6 members, and Catherine's a founding board member. I've been involved for several years. David and Kelly are our other founding board members, and we're very excited to have brought on 2 very recent board members, Diane Naley, who is a very seasoned parks professional from the Bay Area, and Lindsay Kaufman, who is a longtime community leader and arts advocate who runs a dance studio a few blocks away. So, you know, we all have very different priorities and different, you know, day jobs and different goals, but ultimately we're all kind of sharing in the same vision of what do we do to support the future of our Palm Springs parks. We all have a lot of roots here and are very invested in the long-term health and well-being of the community. So we're very excited to have our new members on board. And just, this is also very small, but this is sort of a roadmap of what we've done and what we're doing. I want to highlight, you know, we did some early advocacy work, letter writing campaigns. We facilitated a number of cleanups in the park, which I think some of you attended. And through our advocacy work, we really realized through talking with Nick that there was an opportunity for this public-private partnership, where we could really be strategic and thoughtful about using our, you know, unique ability as a 501c3 to really support the work that he and his department are doing. And through that work, we've been, you know, working on memorializing the relationship in a formal MOU to reflect that partnership. As part of that, we've launched several listening sessions. We're actually having one this Friday in this room at 12:30 for anyone who can make it. And the goal of our listening sessions is to hear from our neighbors, community members, and folks in the community, really like not only what they want their parks to be, but what they envision the role of an organization like ours in supporting the parks. We're very mindful and appreciative of all the work the city has done to put together the master plan and the listening sessions that were done there. We are not going to, you know, duplicate that. We're going to build on top of it and understand what your priorities are in terms of the work that we do. So for those of you who are, you know, I know you're all community leaders, anyone interested in hosting a session or, you know, having us facilitate a session, whatever that looks like, we would be very glad to talk to you because it's a really key priority for us to make sure that we're hearing from as many voices as possible. As just a quick example of the kind of activation that we're so excited about supporting, just last month, we were very grateful through Nick's partnership to work with a wonderful local organization called Kids Jam to put on a music event in Victoria Park on a Saturday morning. And I have never seen so many families and people and kids and just people of all, you know, sorts in the park on a Saturday morning. It was a joyous morning of art and music and just people meeting for the first time and connection forming. And for us, that's really what we hope to help create, is something where everyone feels welcome and that we all have a reason to go to the park and really feel like we belong there. And so listening sessions will be planned for more spaces. We're looking at James O'Jesse and Duluth Community Center, but again, we would love to come to your neighborhoods and your groups to facilitate really listening to you as our neighbors, what you're looking for. This is sort of a just high level, like who we are, or what we're doing and what we're not doing, and we just want to be very clear that we're very grateful and respectful of Nick and his work in the department, and also the unique partnership that we have allows us to really do what the city can't do alone, right? We have the ability to fundraise, we have the ability to mobilize investment, we have the ability to create partnerships to really support the long-term goals of the department. We are not going to replicate what the city does. We're not going to, reinvent the wheel, and we're not the pass-through, but we are sort of a catalyst and connector, and a group that's going to support initiatives that are really meaningful and important in partnership with Nick and his team. So that's us. I want to leave you with this. This is a link to our QR code to our community survey, and we have gotten phenomenal feedback already. We've got dozens and dozens of residents from all over, even outside Palm Springs, all over the Coachella Valley, giving us wonderful feedback about how they're using the park, when, where, with whom, what's working for them, what they're looking for, what makes them feel welcome. And that feedback is all critical to us because it helps us inform our priorities and the decisions that we make as a board about how we want to, spend our time and resources and priorities with neighbors. And we would also love to talk with anyone who is interested in collaborating in session. So with that, I will run my slogan and thank you all. Thank you all.
All right, with that, I'm told we're going to lose the room any moment now. So, we'll be back here next month. And, take a motion to adjourn? Second, all right. Have a safe month.